you're welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. My name is Miriam Uduak-Mensah. Good morning once again. And if you're just joining in, you made the right choice. It's Thursday, and so we're going to be doing something I like doing. This is why I took this job. Believe me when I tell you this. I love Thursdays. We get to talk about health, wellness, you know, how to take care of ourselves and our families, the right things to do to make sure we're living a very healthy life. I think one of these days we should talk about massage, you know, so that I can be at the spa. Then we can. That's one I'll be more excited about Thursdays. But today's conversation is equally important, and so stay right here with us as we navigate that journey. But before we get into that conversation, let's talk about something very important as well about living a healthy life, and that's drinking water. A lot of it. Augustine would always tell you that drink a lot of water and mind your business. Today I'm going to teach you how to drink water and what kind of water to actually even drink. So with Jibu water, yes, stay refreshed has never been easier. Jibu water provides clean, healthy water you can trust as your go-to source for drinking and cooking. With options of our innovative 20-liter bottles that come with a tap and 18.9-liter bottles, your dispensers will have a breath of a new life as our clean and hygienic Jibu water flows through them for your consumption. So whether you need a cool drink to quench your thirst or a fresh cooking water to make your meals taste its best, Jibu water is the answer to your clean water needs. Order for your clean water now by calling us on 020-9845-817. That's 020-9845-817. Or visit our website at www.jibuco.com/GH for more information about our brand Jibu Water, a better life. Now, for our big conversation this morning, we're discussing juvenile arthritis awareness campaign. Yes, I did not know until, you know, this conversation was brought to me by the production team that arthritis, there are, you know, different types of arthritis, and this one is related to the young ones, isn't it? Yeah, juvenile obviously means that. And joining me for the conversation this morning, Dr. Pius Richmond Ahiavi. So who added the N? N is part of it.
No, it's not part of it.
Doc, good morning. Good morning. Also, he is a medical practitioner, of course, and Madam Priscilla Akins, Marketing and Business Development Officer at Nuffield Clinic. Good morning,
Hi,
my lady.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. I want us to jump right into it, okay? Juvenile arthritis. How is that different from arthritis in adults?
Okay, so for juvenile arthritis, it's more of the immune system fighting the body. So when God created us, He created the immune system to help us fight external things, to help us fight foreign materials that enter our body. But some way, somehow, the body sometimes begins to fight itself because the immune system that cannot differentiate between what is foreign and then what is indigenous in the body. So, and that is how come we have these forms of arthritis coming up. Whereas when it comes to the ones in the older people, it's more of wear and tear. So as you continue using a joint for a very long time, you begin to develop wear and tear of that joint. The cartilages wear off, and now bone begins to speak to bone, and bone begins to attach to bone, and the friction causes the pain, and then subsequently the arthritis.
Yes.
So the difference is the fact that this is more like an autoimmune condition, more of like a rheumatological thing, and the one with the adults has to do with wear and tear, mechanical. So as you move, the more you use a joint, the more it gets tired, the more it goes, and it wears off. Yes.
Oh goodness. So this one, the children have no control over it. They don't, like they have no contribution to what's going on in
Most times, no, they don't have no contributions to it.
That's very sad.
Very.
Anywho, but how often do we see these cases?
Okay, so per research, about 1 in every 1,000 children can have juvenile arthritis. So the thing is, most times they go unnoticed. Most times they go undiagnosed because the awareness or the education has not really gone out to the general public. So they go, they'll end up being treated for many things, but juvenile arthritis.
Yeah.
It is later on when the complications have come and other things have developed, that's when the diagnosis is actually made, and then maybe hopefully sometimes by then it's really already a bit late.
Does it cause death?
Not directly,
No.
but it can lead to death if it's not managed properly. Because
Right.
when it happens, other things come into play. The immune system is lower, other things come into play, and then it can actually cause the death.
So since we're already learning and we're right into it, because you did say something earlier about the fact that people do not, it goes unnoticed for a while and then, you know,
Yes.
it gets complicated. What are some of the symptoms parents should look out for in children?
Okay. So firstly, I'll speak to this that children as young as 2 years, even 1 year, can even develop arthritis. All right. So if you have a child that is below 16 years and begins to complain of most times having joint pain and with swelling, sometimes even stiffness of joints, especially early in the mornings. So they wake up and they're unable to probably stretch their legs to walk. They have to be there for a while before the stiffness leaves them, and then they're able to take steps. And then sometimes to joints, different joints in the body, getting swollen, getting painful for a period of at least 6 weeks. So we give the 6 weeks period because there are several causes of joint pain, and we want to make sure that we are not categorizing every joint pain as juvenile arthritis. So the 6 weeks period gives us enough time for us to know that, okay, so with this one, we've ruled out every other thing that can cause the joint pain, and it is actually
Arthritis
juvenile
that we're
arthritis.
looking at.
Yes. So joint pain with swelling, and then sometimes stiffness of joints. Other times to fever of unknown origin. So the child may be having fevers that you cannot explain. They've treated everything, malaria, typhoid, whatever it is. They've treated, but the fever does not resolve, and it keeps coming with time. From time to time, it's coming. It means it's giving a warning sign that we need to screen that child for juvenile arthritis.
Wow. So again, like you rightly said, it could be anything. It's just that, you know, you need to make sure that doctors are having a look at it. But over here, what is causing the 1%? Okay, let me not assume, because I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are, what the statistics are about, you know, on this particular case. What are we looking at? What are the numbers looking like?
So as I said, from research, 1 in every 1,000 children has juvenile arthritis. So if you pick 1,000 children, you have at least one person having juvenile arthritis. So that is to say, it is not common. But when it comes to the joint world, it is the most commonest problem that children experience when it comes to joint issues. Joint pain and swelling is the most commonest cause of joint pain and joint swelling in kids.
And what are the treatments for this?
So treatment has to do with what we find. So we have to first examine, and then we do some blood tests, we do x-rays, we need to know the extent of the disease, and when we find that out, we can initiate the treatment, which comprises some oral medications that we have to give you. Sometimes, if it's very advanced, we give some injections as well, and then physiotherapy. So you will put a child in the physio routine just to make sure that the joints are very healthy, the joints are safe, and the joints, they don't develop deformities and contractures because of stiffness and because of the swelling. So it's a multidisciplinary approach. So we bring the dietitian in, we bring the medical doctor is also on board, we bring the physiotherapist on board, and then we all together manage the child to make sure that the joints are safe.
So can a child completely heal from arthritis, or it just lives with them and it's managed?
So yes and no, because thing is, when it comes to this condition, it's been known that most children will go with it into adulthood because it's an autoimmune condition, and we don't know why it is happening, but we know that the body is attacking itself, and then when it keeps happening like that, we don't have a cure for it at the moment. But we can manage the symptoms and manage the disease progression so that it gets to even some undetectable levels. We have what we call remission. So the disease can go into remission where you have the disease, but you don't really have symptoms at all. So the goal is to make sure that even if they have the disease into adulthood, they don't have symptoms that will worry their joints and also retard their growth.
In a case like this, a child, finds him or herself dealing with this. How do you manage it on the school level? Like, the child has to go to school. Do you advise that they be, restricted from, making certain childhood, involved in certain childhood activities?
Okay, so the goal is to make sure that we don't get to the place where they have to not be involved in childhood activities. So we want them to have a normal life like how their contemporaries do. So we do some of these things. That's one of the reasons why we are here.
Yeah.
We educate teachers, we educate schools, we educate parents on this condition, and then we tell them that the earlier, the better. So when you bring the child in and we're able to treat them early, we are able to give them good quality of life for especially their joints, and even because it can also be a systemic disease, where systemic disease means that some parts of the internal organs can also be involved.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the joints on the outside, but the internal organs can also be affected as well. So we make sure that we start the treatment early, and then we are able to restore your child back to his normal way of living. But what we usually tell the parents is that they should give, because when you have children having this disease, imagine that your friends are playing and you try to play and you have pain. So it will begin to cause some emotional problems for them as well.
Absolutely.
So we advise parents to, as much as possible, give so much attention to those children and give them the best of care that they need, especially emotionally. Because if they are on their own, you would think they are children, they can't process their emotions, but it can really affect them. So most of them can end up having some form of depression and some form of anxiety disorders. So we tell them to give them the love that they deserve, and also teach the parents some exercises that they can teach their children to do, so that they can stretch their joints, and also move them occasionally, move them from time to time. Even if they are not doing formal physiotherapy in the hospital, we teach them what to do at home, so that they can help their children to also have better joint care, and also the foods that they can eat. There are some foods that are called pro-inflammatory foods, and we advise that and most of those are foods that children actually like. So, I noodles. So it's very important that we advise the mothers and the parents to know what to do for them.
Now, so clearly, this is a conversation that has become important to have.
Yes.
Very subtle a conversation, but I think we need to amplify, the conversation a little bit more. But you and Nuffield has decided to take that upon yourselves, to campaign. And so I'm going to go to my lady in the room, Mrs. Akins. Are you Mrs.? Miss.
Mrs. Anson.
Mrs. Anson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm here behaving like I know. Let's talk about Nuffield Clinic. Let's talk about what you do over there. Why this juvenile arthritis is such an important conversation for you. Let's get into that.
All right. So Nuffield Clinic is a specialist clinic, and we offer orthopedic, rheumatology, and physiotherapy. In simpler terms, we treat injuries and diseases related to bones, joints, and muscles.
Okay.
We are located at Osu Sunkwa Road, around the Salvation Army.
Okay.
Yes, juvenile arthritis, because awareness and support campaign, because we understand a lot of parents have no idea about juvenile arthritis. Others know, but we don't really pay attention to. Our theme for this year is listen to the pain they can't explain. Children find it very difficult to actually tell us what really the pain is. And in a typical Ghanaian or an African home, once a child tells you, oh, my knee hurts, the most response you get from your parents is, oh, go and sit down. You just played. You were just coming from the park. You just came back from your friend's house or something. Just get a painkiller and you are good to go. But no, sometimes it goes on and it reaches to a point where our doctor mentioned about. Yes, so the campaign is basically to create awareness, also to let mothers, parents caregivers know about juvenile arthritis. We are running this campaign not just for Nuffield Clinic, but for every single parent in Ghana, especially in Accra. Yeah. So we've been to schools, we've been to churches, we've actually come together with an organizations, health specialists, and we've been to schools and churches about educating them. So if any school, if you are listening to us and you are a school, you are an organization, you want us to come, have an educational session on juvenile arthritis for the organization, we are ready and we are up for that, because we really want to push juvenile arthritis out there, let people know, let the public get to know about it.
Just like many conversations, and I must congratulate you on that, great job done there. But just like many conversations, we have a dedicated month for this, and I believe July should be what is the dedicated month for juvenile arthritis. But beyond July, what are we looking at doing at Nuffield Clinic?
Beyond July, in as much as July happens to be the dedicated awareness month, we have taken it upon ourselves that we are not ending it in July.
Oh, great.
We are extending it even after the year ends. That is because we want the public, we want Ghanaians to know much about it. We understand parenting is hard, but finding the right solution shouldn't be as hard as parenting is. Once you find out that, oh, this is what my child is going through, we don't want you to sit, we don't want you to hesitate. You have to seek help as soon as possible. Come Thursday is a webinar we are having with a rheumatology specialist, Dr. Mame Boatma Misatha, who doubles as the vice VP of and senior lecturer for Accra Medicine. Accra College of Medicine. She is talking on the topic, children get arthritis too. And of course, that's what we are actually talking about now. Yes. So we are saying to the public that if in any case, after our webinar, you find out that your child needs attention, do not hesitate. Reach out to Nuffield Clinic now.
Doc, I'm going to come back to you. I was done with you, but I just remember that one of the things that we battle with in this country as well is finances. How expensive is it to treat juvenile arthritis? Because this woman will tell me that at Nuffield it's not expensive, so I'm going to start from you.
Okay. So I also say the same thing. It's not expensive.
But generally,
I mean, generally, you know, health is what it is. Okay, so it's not more expensive than what you will find elsewhere. You understand? And this is, as I said, an immune something. So it's a rheumatology condition, and we need to understand that when it comes to rheumatology, treating it, some of the labs are even a bit costly. But it does not mean that it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg just to survive.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have packages that when you come in, we can enroll you on, and that will help you to.
Because I think one of the things that you hear parents say is, okay, you've diagnosed my child of juvenile arthritis, but me, I don't have money to take care of this child. What are some of the remedies, you could employ at home to manage a child's situation? If I'm at home, my child has, arthritis as a child, and what do I do at home so that I don't have to be spending so much money at the hospital?
So as I said, there are things that we teach them.
Okay.
So one of the things you should know is that it needs to be diagnosed.
Yes.
So once it is diagnosed, it means that we have diagnosed it and we are putting you on treatment or management. All right. So as you are taking the medications, we are teaching the parents the kind of exercises that children need to be doing. We are teaching them the kinds of food they need to be taking. And we are teaching them that water is an important part of life. Yes. So it is important to understand that it is not just about the medications, but the food aspect, the diet aspect is very important as well. The exercise part is also very important as well, because the joints cannot just be flexible because of the medications, but the joints can be very flexible when we exercise them, when we do the home physios that we advise them to do. And there's this thing I've realized in Ghana that we treat the children as secondary. When the mother is feeling sick, she will pay whatever it is to get the help for herself. But when it comes to the child, when the mother's finished spending the money, what is left? What is to treat the child?
Really?
No, it shouldn't be so.
People are doing that here in this country.
People are doing that.
Are you're serious?
People are doing that.
I think the reverse is the case.
No, it's not the
There
case.
is- you're a mother?
Okay, maybe
Are
because
you a
I use the
mother?
word
Yes, I
mother.
am.
Maybe because I use the word mother. But parent, okay, let me use the word parents.
No.
So that's what it is. So you will have people coming to the hospitals, and then when it has to do with them, they can pay whatever it is. When it has to do with their child, they will say they will go and come because probably we think the children are very small adults, so their prices should be way lower. The cost of treatment shouldn't be as much as it is for an adult. But
Hey.
they are also human beings too.
Hey, no, because I think the reverse is the case.
So we are saying that they are as important as you are. So whatever it is, they need to be attended to as an adult should be.
They are vulnerable individuals.
Yes.
They are.
They should be taken care of.
They
I don't
are.
understand where you got this narrative from.
Especially
But I
when
want
it comes to do with orthopedics. I know what I'm talking about.
You know what you're doing. You definitely do. You don't look like someone who lies.
I know what I'm talking about. Especially when it comes
People
to
are
do
doing
with
that
orthopedics.
here. That is evil. Because these children, like you rightly said, sometimes they can't even explain to you what is going on in their bodies. So I believe that okay, so my approach would always be that I want to find out everything from the doctor. The doctor has to tell me to the least information that to him is not that important. I want to have it because you don't know what your child is going through.
And that's a good way to think, actually.
You people, you wicked. But yes, so today we delve deeper into the conversation juvenile arthritis. Yes, children get arthritis too. And so please pay attention to your children. Make sure to visit the hospital and to get the right diagnosis for your children anytime they complain. If you say your head is spinning, we are going to hospital because I'm not a doctor. I can't tell whether paracetamol will work for this or not. So how do we find you? How do we connect with you if we want to know more? Like a mother is watching today, she's like, I want to know more about this disease. How do we connect with you?
Okay. On socials, we are Nuffield Clinic GH.
Okay.
And then you can reach out to us on WhatsApp via 050 377 1983.
Okay.
050 377 1983. You can reach out to us for the link towards the webinar next week, Thursday.
Okay.
And then if you want to book an assessment for your child on juvenile arthritis. For any other thing, you can still reach out to us on the same number. If you want us to come into your school, your church, for an educational awareness about juvenile arthritis, just reach out to us on these numbers.
All right. Thank you so much, Doc and Miss Akins, Mrs. Ansom, for coming through. Now, to you out there, I hope you've learned, like we do every Thursday, we educate ourselves to live a better and healthier life. And even today is very important because the children, those vulnerable individuals, they need more attention. So please pay attention to your children. We're going for a quick break. When we return, the plug is next.